Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. If you're new, hello and welcome. And my name is Laura Lee and I own Mumsy Makes. I teach tutorials on crochet every Wednesday and Saturday. So I'm glad you're here. Let's get into the next video. We're going to be learning this today. So enjoy. Okay guys, so we're going to be using the Stylecraft Special Aran yarn, and it says to use a 5mm. I'm using a 4 because it just makes it a bit tighter, which is nice when you're making a bag. So we're going to start off by making a slip knot and then pop our hook in. Then we're going to chain up 21. So there we go, 21 chains, and what we're now going to do is make our stitches, but we're going to make them into the back of the chain rather than into the front. So if we turn it over, we can see the little humps on the back, and that's where we're going to be working into. The first stitch, we're going to skip our first chain and go into the next. We're going to make a single crochet, and then in the next one we're going to make a double crochet. Okay, so we're going to repeat those 2 stitches all the way down. We're going to do the single, then a double, then a single, then a double, and then keep doing that, and I'll meet you when we get to the other end. So I'm at the end, I'm on my last chain. I'm going to put up a single, then a double, and then a single all into that same chain. As you'll see as I'm working up the stitches, it just kind of bends around that end of the chain really nicely. So once we've finished our last single crochet into this chain, we're going to work over that tail end of yarn just there, and we're going to put a double crochet into the next available stitch along the other side of the chain. So you can see that's just here. It's a little bit difficult to work into, but it gets easier. And then we pop a single crochet into the next stitch. Then just continue alternating those stitches, so we go double crochet, single crochet all the way down until you get to the end, and I'll meet you back here. And now we are on our last chain, which is just here. So we're going to pop a single crochet in there and double crochet. And then we will slip stitch back to the top of the first single crochet that we made. And once we finish that round, it should look a little something like this. This will be the inside, this will be the outside. So it's lovely and textured. We're then going to chain up 1, and into that single crochet we're going to put a double crochet. So changing it up this time. And then into the next one, which was a double crochet, we're going to put a single crochet. So whenever you see a single, you put in a double, and whenever you see a double, you put in a single. So we're just alternating them again. So now we're at the other end. We're going to continue working all the way around. We're not adding any stitches, just a next stitch is single crochet, then double, then a single. Keep alternating those stitches without adding any more. And now we're back round to the other side, so we're just going to keep alternating, and I will meet you back at the beginning. And we have our last stitch here, which is a single crochet, and then we're going to slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet that we made, which is just here. Now we can see that it's starting to fold up on itself, which is exactly what we want because we're making a bag. So we're just going to continue those rows, so chain up 1, and then because we did a double crochet, we're going to do a single crochet to start off with, and then the next one is a single, so we're going to do it double, So I'm going to alternate the rows until my bag measures 5 inches. You can make it longer if you want to. So this is what you should have. It should look a little something like this, maybe longer or maybe shorter, it's up to you. We're now going to make the button part, or the button section. So we're going to pop our hook in. We're then going to chain up 1. Put 1 single crochet into that same space. And then we're going to put 1 single crochet in every single stitch around. So you just have a nice neat edge like this. What we're now going to do is we're going to put 14 single crochets in until we reach the middle, and then we're going to chain 2 and continue crocheting all the way around. So I've now made my 14 single crochets. I'm going to chain 2, then I'm going to skip 2 stitches, and I'm going to single crochet back into that 3rd stitch there, and then just continue working those single crochets all the way back round to the beginning. And now, as you can see, you've got a little buttonhole. So we're going to do 1 more row of single crochets. We're going to chain up the 1 single crochet back into that stitch, and then 1 single crochet all the way around. And when we get to that chain part, we're going to put single crochets into the chains. So 1 and 2, and then continue working those single crochets into those stitches until we get back round to the beginning. And with the final button part done, we now have our buttonhole, and we're going to finish off by doing the invisible join. And this is what it looks like once you've finished that join. If you don't know how to do the invisible join, I have a tutorial on that. I'll pop it up here for you so you can go and follow that video too. And remember to subscribe, guys, if you like this video. Now to work on the straps for our bag. So we're going to start off with a slip knot. Pop our hook in and pull tight so it's ready to go. Then we're going to make sure our bag is facing us with the buttonhole at the front so we can see that it's centered. And then find the 3 stitches on either side of the bag. 1, 2, 3. Pop our hook into that first stitch, and we're going to slip stitch onto the bag. We're then going to place that tail end between the hook and the working yarn and lay it flat on top of the stitches. That way we can work over the tail end without having to weave it in at the end. So chain 1 single crochet back into that same space, then a single crochet into the next, and a single crochet into the next. Then chain up 1, turn our work, and put 1 single crochet in each stitch along. We're just going to repeat that same row over and over again until we get to the length that we want. I'm going to make mine 19 inches, so I'll meet you back when we have to join. Now I've finished my strap, which is now 19 inches, and so we're going to start attaching it to the bag. We're going to find those 3 stitches that we had before, and we're going to attach it by putting our hook into the first stitch on our strap, and then slip stitching through to the first stitch. So we're going to go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the stitch on the strap, and then through the one on our hook. And then do that again, so into the next, and then into the next stitch on our bag, and then slip stitch all the way through, and one more time into the strap stitch, into the bag stitch, pull it through, and slip stitch. Then chain 1 to fasten off. Leave a bit of a long tail so we have space to weave it in. And there we go. 1 strap attached. So now it's time to attach the button. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves a button that fits really snugly through that little hole that we've made for the button. The one I'm using is 1 inch, but if you crochet a little bit looser or a little bit tighter, you might need a different size. So grab yourself a length of yarn and thread it onto your yarn needle. Then we're going to lay our bag down flat and pop our button inside, just so we can see where the placement should be for our button. I'm going to pop mine here, so I'm going to come in from the back and through the buttonholes, leaving a bit at the back so we can tie it together, and then through the other side, and I do that twice just to make sure it's nice and secure on there. Then we are going to tie a knot. I do a double knot just to make sure it's definitely secure, and then weave in your ends. Thank you so much for joining me today on this tutorial. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, remember to hit that thumbs up and that subscribe button, pop a comment below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.